Maria hurried through the crowded airport, clutching her boarding pass as though it were the most precious thing in the world. This trip meant everything to her. For 2 years, she had saved every penny from her job at the bakery, skipping new clothes, ignoring fancy dinners, and even walking to work to save bus fare. Finally, she had bought a ticket to see her sister, who lived oceans away. The flight was boarding now, and her heart pounded with excitement, nervousness, and the joy of long-awaited reunion. Her sneakers tapped rapidly against the shiny airport floor as she weaved through the throngs of travelers, each person lost in their own world. Announcements blared overhead, luggage wheels rattled, and children tugged at their parents' hands. It felt like a maze, but Maria was determined not to miss her chance. She clutched her small bag tighter and quickened her pace. Suddenly, a low groan stopped her mid-stride. She glanced sideways and saw an old man struggling near the luggage carts. His suitcase looked impossibly heavy, its wheels jammed, refusing to roll. His thin frame bent under the weight as he tried to drag it. People brushed past him without a second glance, eyes fixed on their own departures. Maria froze. The announcement rang out again, final call for Flight 218 to Paris. Her chest tightened. That was her flight. If she stopped now, she might lose everything she had worked so hard for. But her eyes returned to the man, his trembling hands gripping the handle, his face etched with helplessness. Her conscience roared louder than the airport speakers. She set her bag down and rushed to him. "Sir, let me help you," she said softly. The old man looked up, his eyes surprised but warm. "Oh. I don't want to trouble you, dear. I'll manage somehow." Maria shook her head firmly. "It's no trouble." She bent down, grasped the stubborn suitcase, and with a strong tug, managed to free its wheels. Together, they lifted it onto a cart, his frail hands still trying to assist though they shook with the effort. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice hoarse. No one even stopped. Maria smiled gently. "Sometimes we just need a little help, don't we?" As she guided him to a nearby bench, she glanced at the clock. Her stomach dropped. The gate was closing. She rushed forward with her bag, her breath catching in her throat, but by the time she reached the counter, the doors were shut. The plane had gone. Her knees felt weak. Months of planning, of dreaming, had vanished in a single act of kindness. She pressed her boarding pass against her chest, whispering to herself, "I missed it. I really missed it." Behind her, the old man watched quietly, his eyes not of pity, but of admiration. Maria sat on a hard plastic bench near the closed gate, staring at the empty runway through the tall glass windows. Her heart sank deeper with every passing second. She could almost picture her sister waiting at the other end, scanning arriving passengers, her excitement slowly fading into disappointment. Maria swallowed hard, fighting back tears. The old man she had helped earlier shuffled toward her, his cane tapping lightly on the polished floor. His suitcase was now safely resting by his side, but his eyes were fixed on Maria's face. She quickly wiped her cheeks, trying to hide her sadness, but her trembling hands betrayed her. "You're upset, child," he said gently, lowering himself onto the bench beside her. His voice carried the wisdom of age and a softness that made her want to cry even more. Maria forced a smile. "It's nothing. I just missed my flight." Her voice cracked, and she let out a shaky breath. He tilted his head, studying her expression. "And you missed it because you chose to help me, didn't you?" She looked down at her lap, ashamed of her feelings. "Yes, but it's fine. I'll figure something out." The old man pulled out a neatly folded handkerchief and offered it to her. "Kindness never leaves us empty-handed. Remember that. You may feel like you've lost something now, but life has a way of returning gifts in its own time." Maria hesitated, then took the handkerchief, dabbing her eyes. His words were comforting, but they didn't solve her problem. She had just enough money for that one ticket, rebooking another would drain her completely, maybe even leave her stranded. The thought gnawed at her, but she didn't dare tell him. He was just an old man. What could he do? Still. Maria leaned back against the bench, clutching her bag as her thoughts spun in circles. She was calculating, praying, wondering if there was any way she could stretch her little savings to book another flight. Her sister's face kept flashing in her mind, and the weight of disappointment pressed heavily on her chest. Just then, footsteps echoed on the marble floor. She glanced up and froze. The same old man she had helped earlier was approaching again, but now he wasn't alone. Two sharply dressed men in dark suits flanked him, moving with quiet authority. People passing by slowed, whispering, their eyes widening with recognition. Maria blinked in confusion. Was this really the frail man she had seen struggling with his suitcase? He seemed taller now, his posture straighter, his presence commanding. One of the men spoke first, addressing him respectfully. "Mr. Anderson, everything is ready." The name hit Maria like a lightning bolt. Anderson. Her eyes darted to the giant posters on the terminal walls, Anderson Airlines, painted in bold letters across gleaming airplanes. Her mouth went dry. She turned back to him, her heart pounding. The old man, Mr. Anderson, smiled kindly at her astonished expression. "You're wondering if it's true, aren't you?" His voice was calm, almost amused. "Yes, my dear. I own this airline." Maria's lips parted, but no words came out. She had missed her flight, her dream trip, because she had stopped to help him, and now she sat beside the man whose name was on every ticket, every plane, every counter in the building. She stammered, her voice trembling. "I didn't know. I only wanted to help." Mr. Anderson's eyes softened. "And that is precisely why it matters. You helped without expecting anything in return. Most would have hurried past me, chasing their own schedules, their own comfort. But you saw a person in need and chose compassion over convenience." Her throat tightened as tears welled again, but this time, they weren't born of regret. They were tears of disbelief, of awe. He gestured to his assistant, who handed Maria a golden envelope. Her fingers shook as she opened it. Inside was a first-class ticket, on the very next flight to her sister's city. Not just a replacement ticket, but a seat of luxury, something she had never even dreamed of affording. Maria covered her mouth with her hand, her voice breaking. I can't accept this. It's too much." Mr. Anderson chuckled softly, resting a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You've already earned it, child. Think of this not as charity, but as recognition. The world needs more people like you. And perhaps I could use people like you around me as well." Her tears spilled freely now, but her smile was radiant. She had missed her flight, yes. But in that moment, Maria realized she had boarded something far greater, a journey of fate, kindness, and a chance encounter that would change her life forever.